The amount of crap talk going on in Formula One right now, you could repackage the crap, turn it into fireworks and use it for Independence Day. Lads, seriously, it's insane. I mean, Formula One, the amount of rumours and ridiculous lies go around usually is insane. But wow, we're going to get into it quite a bit. Obviously, this is the preview for Azerbaijan, Baku, baby, and we're going to get into it. But even Oscar Piastri says he's going to help out. Oh yeah, he's going to help out his teammate Lando Norris, even though he said he's available. Even the last few races, he was there for him. Oh, lads, we got a lot to break down today. And of course, we're going to look through the track, dissect it, and look at the most important corner and where Lando Norris can capitalize this weekend. So, lads, just before we get into it here, I've never been on the fence for quite some time here. At one moment, I've got my popcorn ready to come out because the drama is so... Well, it just leaves you on hook, ready. What's happening next? What's coming? What's coming? And then I can read between the lines. I know when racing drivers are full of crap. I know when a lot of the team owners are full of crap from my own racing days. And I'm just screaming at the TV. I'm screaming at the websites. I'm trying to hopefully let you guys know that there's a lot of BS talked at the moment. And don't believe that. Don't believe this, because you'll never know. And then we just see everything unfold in front of us. Okay, guys, let's give you the backstory. So what am I talking about today? Well, in the last few days, let's go back to only just the last few days, Adrian Newey, the man, the legend, the genius, as I'm sure many of you know, he signed up with Aston Martin. Fantastic for Lawrence Stroll, the daddy of Lance Stroll. He's obviously a fantastic businessman, and he's doing the job, lads. He's getting the right man in for the job. Because if anyone can turn a car around and get it on the pace, on the ball to win races and championships, it is this man, Adrian Newey. Doesn't matter how much you have, you throw as much money as you can at this man because he's worth every goddamn penny. If many don't know, Adrian Newey has 25 world championships under his belt, lads. Now, that's including his drivers winning the Drivers' Championship. In other words, he was the main man behind bringing his drivers to crossing the finish line as champions. Huge part of this. And obviously constructors. So we're considering it, we're talking both here, constructors and drivers, 25. That is definitely, he's got the most out of everyone in the paddock and has ever been. He's the man, 25. Can you imagine Roger Federer, Michael Jordan winning 25 majors? Now, I know basketball is slightly different, so bear with me. But can you imagine Roger Federer winning 25? I think he got to 2021, but, 25? That's, this is how good this guy is. Novak Djokovic in tennis, right? Isn't he on 22, I think? Nadal, forgive me if I'm wrong, lads, but he's still a few notches above these lads. And Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, these are the greatest of all time when it comes to tennis. Tiger Woods, what's he on? Jack Nicholson in golf, 18 majors. You got Tiger Woods on, is he on 15? The two of the greatest of all time? They're not even in the 20 bracket. It just goes to show you, lads, how bloody goddamn good this guy is, because those 25 titles are really like 25 majors. So it's going to be very exciting to see what happens next year at Aston Martin with Adrian Newey on board. And the other bit of news before we get into what brings us up to the scratch, looking at the track and stuff. The extra bit of news, Oscar Piastri has now claimed, here comes the BS, he's now saying that he's there to help out Norris. And he's obviously going to help out because the team talks have been vital apparently at McLaren. And he's there, he's ready, he's waiting, even though he had an interview and he even stated that he's said this to the team for the last few races. But now it's only becoming public now. Is that so, Oscar Piastri? Now, lads, this is where the racing driver, the old racing driver, knows other racing drivers. He's full of it here. Because 2 weeks ago at Italy, as we all know, on lap 1, Piastri overtook Lando Norris in a bit of a bold move. Okay, in the chicane on the outside, it was a bold move. It was a risky move. Piastri knew that Lando Norris wouldn't dare try and knock the two of each other off because Lando Norris has a lot more to lose here. So Piastri had nothing to lose, and he certainly didn't help him there. If he was helping him, well, why are you overtaking in a risky position? Like, guys, if Lando Norris was on the main straight and he was just going slow and it was easy for Piastri to overtake, well, then you would, in fairness, come to Piastri's defense and say, well, look, come on, Peter, like, he was really slow. I mean, he's just holding up everyone. So it was a no-brainer to overtake, of course. But he didn't have that scenario. It was on lap 1. And guess what? He went for a risky move. Risky move. So he was out to win. And again, let's check this again. Example number 2. If he really wanted to help out his teammate, he would have let him through in the last few laps. He would have let him take second position, right? Now, maybe you can argue with that with the team. Well, hey, lad, what's the point? It wasn't a win. Bollocks. Total bollocks talk. Lando Norris needs as many points as he can. So the team orders could have easily come into play right there, right then. Because, lads, I've seen it so many times, and it happens in Formula 1 all the time. A lot of championships come down to even 1 point. So even that weekend, or even the other weekends they've messed up, they've sacrificed a lot of points. Not just one, a hell of a lot of points. So I don't know what is going on with McLaren. Have they finally realized? Is this why Oscar Piastri is now coming out and saying, I'm here to help? Have McLaren now put the pressure on Piastri? Right? Did it have to come to this, where the journalists and someone like myself are kicking and screaming, saying, why haven't people let Norris through? Why aren't they helping him? Why aren't they helping him? Has it really had to come to this? Because Ron Dennis wouldn't have let it come to this. I know I go on about him quite a bit, but Ron Dennis, the old McLaren boss, he wouldn't have let this happen. They would have had so many more points in the bag right now. But, okay. Right. Let's move on. And the last bit of news, lads. Mike Crack at Aston Martin. He has now stated saying that because Adrian Newey has come to Aston Martin for next year, he'd be open with Max Verstappen coming to Aston Martin as well. Well, lads, that's not going to happen. Fernando Alonso is their golden boy, even though Lance Stroll is the kid of Lawrence, which is still very surprising to me. And by the way, Lance Stroll, he's not a slow pilot. Okay, he's not that slower than Alonso. I don't know what's going on there. But Lawrence is not getting rid of his kid. And I can't see anyone getting rid of Fernando Alonso for Max Verstappen. No way. No way. You know what? Case closed. It's over. It's not happening. It's not happening. Alonso's a legend, one of the greatest of all time. And they're not getting rid of him. They know what Alonso can do. Simple as that. Okay, lads, let's move on to the track. It's a fantastic street circuit, lads, Baku. It is very technical. It is very tough. You get that tunnel vision, which a lot of drivers have said before. I know what that's like. I've had it. Because all of a sudden, all you have is concrete walls around you. And then once you're in that zone of pure focus, it's almost like the walls start getting narrower and narrower and things slow down. And then it just takes you that one split second to lose your focus and bang, you're in a wall. Now, this track, in many ways, I would say it's tougher than Monaco because it's a very, very fast Monaco. So you could have an incident here at 170 miles an hour, whereas in Monaco there's only one area, right? So there's more risk at this track, but it's a fantastic track. Great scenery, great to watch. Even if you've played it on PlayStation, lads, you should check it out. It is a complex track. And it really is about getting the balance between your downforce, because you've got very long straights, but at the same time, you need downforce. This is a very technical track. Now, lads, let's just look at the track map for now. Turn 16, I honestly think, is the most important corner on the track. Why? It's a left-hand corner, and this corner sets you up for one big, long straight, because you come through 16 and it looks very slippy going through here, but if you keep it nice and smooth, keep that momentum up coming out, turn 17, 18, 19 are flat out, and they're easy flats out, lads. Okay, you just gotta give it a little kink in the steering wheel, and boom, you're going through those bends. But if you gain at just a half a mile coming out of turn 16, that's going to result in a huge difference at the end of the main straight, because you're coming through 16, 17, 18, 19, bang, you're back on the main straight. Now, even for qualifying, this is where Norris can really capitalize. If Piastri is going to help him out, and if he can get on the bumper of Oscar Piastri, he'll be able to come out of 16, slingshot out. Piastri will then let him get the slipstream behind him. And my lord, even if Norris gains a little fraction coming out of 16 himself, that could translate into 2 miles an hour by the end of the straight. And then if he gets a tow, a slipstream, oh dear God, there's no end to it, because it's insane. One good slipstream in qualifying, or even in the race, lads, one good tow down that straight, and boom, it could mean the difference between winning or losing. So 16 is where it's all at. So guys, the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen has a 62-point lead over Lando Norris. Lando Norris has got to get his ass in gear, and the whole McLaren team, and Piastri has to come back into the game. So what do we think, lads? Does Lando Norris and McLaren, do they have the chops for this? Do they have the balls? Will they break through? Are they man enough for it? I think they are. They're McLaren at the end of the day, even though they're not showing it. They're backing down. I don't know what's going on with McLaren. 62-point lead. We need Verstappen to have a DNF. And by the way, I'm going for McLaren. I like Oscar Piastri. I like Lando Norris. Don't like Zach Brown, but I love the McLaren team. I want them to do it, but, you know, may the best man win. I think prediction time, I'm going to go with Norris winning, Piastri second, and Verstappen third. If Verstappen finishes out of the top 6 and Norris takes the win with fastest lap, that's a nice chunk again out of the championship. But anything could happen at Baku, lads, and this is a great track to see it, because one flaw, one little tiny flicker, 1 millimeter the wrong way, you're in a concrete wall. I'll see you on Monday morning, lads. Enough said.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move, he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.